Birmingham is a city struggling to find its identity.
It was a big industrial superpower. Factories were its game, but I think as Britain's strength is getting further away from manufacture, Birmingham's got a bit lost.
In my lifetime, they've been redeveloping Birmingham, so the Birmingham I've known has always been changing. It's never been fixed. It's always in constant flux.
Birmingham as a city to me is a vibrant, clean, big city. It's very multicultural. There's so many religions and creeds. It's nice to live in a city where you can learn from other people and how other people live.
It's not particularly pretty or green, but it's definitely got that big city buzz.
Quite modern, with lots of canals and little parts that you can go up and sneak into that you don't know that they're there unless you look for them, like really hard. And busy, lots of people everywhere, and dirty.
I think that architecture in Birmingham is some areas it's quite nice. Where I live it's quite nice in the Jewellery Quarter. I think in the city centre it's quite grey and it's not very pretty. And I think the Selfridges building, although it seems to be quite iconic and appears on the news, I don't really like it that much because it's a bit too modern.
The architecture is really, really nice. It's a nice mix of the old and the new. Lots of old red brick, quite ornate looking kind of Victorian era buildings.
It's a city of many different faces. I don't think it has one particular side to it. And the buildings tend to reflect that actually. A lot of them are very abstract and unique. It's different for every individual.
Every time I return to the city, I'm always struck by the stark contrast of run-down buildings, many of which are key to Birmingham's story, and the large extravagant new building projects shaping a modern Birmingham. There is most definitely wealth and money in the city, but it's concentrated, and arguably not distributed where it's most needed.
I like it because it's where I grew up and I had lots of fun there, but I still do have lots of fun, and you can do loads of different things in the day and in the night. Like at night time, at the weekends, it's really fun because you get to go out with all your friends, and in the daytime you can go shopping or go to cafes and have food and stuff like that. I like coming home to Birmingham.
All of my childhood memories consist of trains and the canals and exploring these strange urban landscapes which are going through a time of decay and rot and have now sort of rebuilt themselves out of the ashes of a lost industry into a new modern sort of metropolis.
There's always quite a lot going on here, and it's quite a big city but not too big. It's quite compact once you're in the centre, and it's got the Bull Ring, which, although I don't particularly like the building, it's got good shops in there, and I know people come from a long way away to go to the Bull Ring. Plus the location of the city, it's right in the middle of the country, so it's kind of countryside if you go a little bit out of the centre.
A brilliant city, a vibrant city to live in. There's so many places to see, so many things to do, and it's an enjoyable place to live.
We don't boast about the old Gothic architecture that maybe Edinburgh or York has, but I suppose it's developing. We can definitely state that we have the most bizarre building structure with the Selfridges and the new library pattern and that building that's got all the crosses on it. Maybe that will all culminate in a definitive character.
There's always a canal or a railway nearby, doesn't matter where you are. That makes it quite an interesting, vibrant place, mainly because of the amount of man-made canals it has. And they certainly provide an alternative way of exploring and getting around, and they give you a very unique view of the city because of the way they carve through the landscape and sort of weave in between buildings and underneath roads and really give you a different view of the town and the way it looks.
Depends what day you go. If you go on a Saturday, people are everywhere, and loads of those people that try and sell stuff for you come up to you, and they're so annoying, give you leaflets. If you go on a weekday, it's quite nice because it's not that busy. Apart from at lunchtime, then all the business people come in.
I mean, it's a nice place to live in. You've got a range of different things to do, things to see, places to be. You've got a thriving multicultural kind of centre, so even out from wherever you go, from where I'm living at the moment, you go out to, you know, nearby areas where there are big multicultural communities, which makes for good food and makes for good, interesting experiences.
A vibrant, clean, big city. It's very multicultural. There's so many religions and creeds. It's nice to live in a city where you can learn from other people and how other people live.
In general, I do like living in the city centre because it's so convenient and there's very good transport links. It's very close to the motorway. From where I live, it's only about a 20-minute walk into the city centre, which is nice and convenient.
Lots of cars, lots of people, very, very busy. Lots of little bits of roads crossing over into each other and winding around each other.
But it also means conflict. It's conflict in many different ways. There's conflict of cultures, conflict of religions, conflict of ideas, hopes, aspirations. It's a city that's sort of struggling with its past, its present and its future all at the same time. It doesn't really have any specific, well, living here, it doesn't appear to have any specific goal. It just tends to lurch from one thing to the other.
I think that because I moved away, I lived in other cities, I don't feel as safe as I used to when I was younger. Maybe I was naive when I was younger, or maybe I just felt so much a part of it that I knew kind of how to navigate it. I still hope I have that savviness, but I've had my own Broad Street scraps.
Well, normally you have to get the train. It takes about 10 minutes if you go on the fast train, and then when you get there, well, I went the other day and I normally go into Selfridges first and then look all around there because they have nice shops, and then work my way through the bull ring, like going in all the shops, and then I go outside and then go down to like outside, and then if you're with someone, normally I say, oh, let's go like walk along the canal, walk to the mailbox or something and have something to eat, or go to Brindley Place.
Large areas of the city are in desperate need of redevelopment and investment. There have been times when I've been confronted with the very worst sides of Birmingham, but still, compared to other cities, I feel mostly relaxed while I'm there. Maybe it's because I feel like I know the city, where I can and cannot comfortably be, almost like we have an understanding, an agreement of sorts.
There's lots of nice buildings in the Jewellery Quarter and lots of museums, and the Electric Cinema is here, where I go quite a lot, and that's the oldest working cinema in the UK, so that's really good. I like going there, and really good shopping, good transport links everywhere, so you could say the best thing about Birmingham is the ability to leave.
I think probably the best thing about Birmingham is kind of slightly more secret Birmingham, or not maybe kind of the main centre or central hub, like some really nice pubs, but the sort of slightly more, not things that are completely secret because they obviously wouldn't be still going, but things that are slightly more kept in, if you're in the know. So those are the best things, I think. Really, just have to seek them out.
I feel that Birmingham is a very easy place to get around in, very reliable city, and it's just a cool city to live in, really.
You've got this very interesting contrast and conflict going on between the two, where it's trying to move forward, but at the same time it can't let go of what kept it alive, what put it there in the first place.
I think it's the same as any city or town. It just depends where you live. Like if you had a good job in the city, it's fine to live in.
And there is quite a nice atmosphere in general in the city centre.
Birmingham does have its surprises. I mean, the custard factory is really cool.
I also really, 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 really like Snobs, which is the greatest club in the West Midlands, bar none.
I love Broad Street if it's night time.
Birmingham has been a great place for me. There is an energy driven by an on and up and out generation. There is always something happening that makes it an exciting place to be, and with such a diverse population, its identity is unique compared to everywhere else I've been.